Did you ever stop to wonder why, despite thinking we have plenty of years ahead of us, so many of us miss out on the opportunity to celebrate our 82nd birthday? What if I told you that 85% of people who believe they will live past 90 actually pass away before they even reach 82, and that the real culprit isn't fate or genetics, but 5 surprisingly simple mistakes that silently chip away at our health? Imagine if making a few small adjustments today could gift you an extra decade or more of vibrant living. That's exactly what Dorothy Chun, a spirited 72-year-old retired school principal from Cincinnati, discovered when a seemingly minor fall led to a series of alarming medical revelations. Join me as we follow Dorothy's journey, uncover the 5 hidden pitfalls many seniors unknowingly fall into, and learn how avoiding these traps can transform not only your lifespan but the quality of every precious year ahead. 3 years ago, Dorothy was convinced she was the epitome of health. She walked her dog Max every morning, enjoyed bridge sessions twice a week with her friends, and took pride in her independence. But after her fall, a routine hospital visit unveiled prediabetes, serious vitamin D deficiency, and early signs of cognitive decline. Her doctor's words, "At this rate, you might not see 80, felt like a verdict more than a warning. Faced with the possibility of missing out on the next chapter of her life, Dorothy embarked on a mission to uncover why seemingly healthy seniors were leaving this world far too soon. What she found would not only save her life, but could help you reclaim countless days you might otherwise lose. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report an average life expectancy of 79 years, yet they rarely mention that many people lose their vitality long before they reach that milestone. The silent tragedy is that most early health declines and preventable deaths stem not from rare diseases or complex medical mysteries, but from everyday choices that, over time, take a devastating toll. Dorothy's story is proof that it's never too late to rewrite your own health narrative. Fast forward today at 75, she's in better shape, physically, mentally, and socially, than she was at 72. Her secret? She identified and eliminated 5 deadly mistakes, none of which required fancy procedures or costly treatments. Just simple, intentional adjustments anyone can make. Let's start by sharing a quick question. Have you noticed yourself running out of steam earlier in the day, or relying more on quick fixes than real solutions? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many of us chalk up fatigue and forgetfulness to aging, but oftentimes there are red flags pointing to underlying mistakes we can correct. Stay with me, because what comes next could mean the difference between marking your 90th birthday with joy or becoming just another statistic. Dorothy's first eye-opener was what she calls the medication multiplication trap. Like many seniors, her medicine cabinet rivaled a small pharmacy. 12 different prescriptions for blood pressure, cholesterol, sleep, pain, and more. Studies from Johns Hopkins reveal that taking 5 or more medications raises mortality risk by nearly 90%. Often because drug interactions create new symptoms that get treated with yet another pill, trapping people in a dangerous cycle. Dorothy learned she was taking 2 blood thinners from separate doctors, compounded by over-the-counter pain relievers, and her daily routine had turned into a ticking time bomb. Bruising and fatigue sent her back to the pharmacist, where she discovered she was perilously close to internal bleeding. Recognizing that many symptoms were side effects of her own prescriptions rather than new illnesses, Dorothy devised her own medication audit system. She compiled a master list of every pill and supplement she took, scheduled quarterly reviews with her pharmacist, and demanded that all her physicians communicate before writing any new scripts. Instead of reflexively accepting prescriptions, she began asking questions. Is this remedy replacing another? Can we try a non-drug approach first? How long do we plan to take this? Within 6 months and under careful supervision, she cut her daily pills from 12 to just 5. The results were dramatic. Her energy rebounded, the fog in her mind lifted, and those mysterious aches and pains evaporated. As she regained her vigor, Dorothy turned her attention to the second mistake lurking in millions of pantries: the invisible poison in processed foods. On the surface, her kitchen seemed healthy: whole grain cereals, low-fat cookies, sugar-free beverages. But every bite was accelerating cellular decay. Packaged granola bars carried more sugar than donuts. Sugar-free sodas had aspartame linked to stroke risk, and sodium-laden canned soups were sending her blood pressure through the roof. Even worse, her natural thirst cues had dulled with age, and and she was downing barely 2 or 3 glasses of water a day amidst dehydrating coffee and the occasional cocktail. With guidance from her nutritionist daughter, Dorothy implemented the simple but powerful 5-55 rule. Choose packaged foods with no more than 5 ingredients. Drink 5 glasses of water by 5 p.m. to prevent bedtime disturbances, and eat 5 different colored fruits and vegetables each day. She swapped sugary snacks for nuts and seeds, sipped herbal teas, and infused water instead of sodas, and chose fresh lean proteins over processed meats. Within 4 months, she reversed her prediabetes diagnosis. Her skin glowed with renewed health and joint inflammation subsided. Remarkably, her grocery bills dropped by 30% as she ditched expensive, processed items for whole foods that nourish rather than sabotage her body. Re-energized, Dorothy confronted the third deadly mistake, the mobility mindset death spiral. After her first tumble, she told herself she would simply avoid risky terrain, skip stairs, and stay on flat paths. What she didn't realize was that fear of falling is one of the most lethal mistakes seniors make. As activity levels dip, muscles weaken, balance falters, and bones grow brittle, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where each precaution actually raises the odds of serious fall. In Dorothy's case, 18 months of self-imposed restrictions left her struggling to rise from a chair without support. A physical therapist's blunt assessment: "You're 72 with the muscle mass of an 85-year-old, ignited Dorothy's transformation. She embraced what she calls the Power of 3 program. 3 balance exercises while brushing her teeth, 3 strength moves during TV commercial breaks, and 3 flexibility stretches each evening. She started small, with 10-second single leg stands by the sink and 5 chair rises, then steadily progressed to single leg squats and weekend hikes with her grandchildren. Within a year, Dorothy was deadlifting 60 pounds, teaching yoga to fellow seniors, and proudly refusing to let fear dictate her life. Today, her bone density is stronger than in her 50s, and she hasn't fallen in over 2 years. Yet strength and agility mean little without connection, which brings us to the 4th fatal misstep: social isolation. Retirement initially sounded like a gift of peace and freedom, but Dorothy soon realized the solitude was eroding her spirit. Her bridge club dissolved, church groups went virtual, family visits were replaced by video calls, and awkward silences with her dog Max became the norm. Studies show loneliness heightens premature death risk by 50%, akin to smoking 15 cigarettes a day, and doubles dementia risk in older adults. Dorothy found herself forgetting simple details like whether she'd taken her medications or what day it was. With gentle encouragement from her daughter, she rekindled social ties through small daily actions, greeting neighbors over the fence, turning grocery trips into coffee dates, and attending senior hour events at the store. She joined a library book club, volunteered at a local hospital gift shop, and even launched her own weekly gathering called the Tuesday Club. Starting with 3 attendees, it blossomed into a lively community of 20 seniors sharing laughter, support, and purpose. Dorothy also mastered video calls to bond with far-flung grandchildren and took online classes to satisfy her curiosity. As her social calendar flourished, her blood pressure fell by 15 points, her mood brightened without medication, and her memory sharpened thanks to engaging conversations. She discovered that one deep connection can be far more nourishing than a dozen superficial chats. Finally, Dorothy tackled the most insidious myth of all, the belief that memory loss is simply part of getting older. For years, she dismissed forgetfulness as inevitable until one heartbreaking morning when she couldn't recall her granddaughter's name. That moment changed everything. Contrary to popular belief, telling yourself that cognitive decline is normal actually accelerates it. Our brains atrophy when left unused, but thrive on challenge. Embracing the concept of neuroplasticity, Dorothy developed a brain renaissance protocol, a 15-minute mental workout with apps like Lumosity or Elevate each morning, daily lessons in Spanish or piano, evening journaling to process the day, and challenging reading before bed. She learned memory techniques, such as a method of loci, linking items to familiar places, and story chaining to weave narratives around facts. She drilled dual coding by pairing images with words, and she taught new skills to friends to cement her own learning. The biggest surprise? Physical exercise proved to be the brain's best ally. Her daily walks boosted her brain-derived neurotrophic factor by over 300%, literally fostering new neural connections. Dan's classes combine coordination, memory, and social interaction, creating a cognitive triple threat. Within 6 months, her memory scores jumped by 40%. At 73, she was playing piano, tutoring ESL students, and writing her memoir with vivid recall. From a pre-diabetic, over-medicated retiree at risk of slipping into decline, Dorothy emerged as a beacon of what's possible. At 75, she takes only 1 blood pressure pill, deadlifts her body weight, speaks Spanish fluently, and leads a thriving community of seniors. Her doctor marvels that her blood markers resemble those of someone 20 years younger. But the greatest transformation lies in her mindset. She no longer views aging as a slow descent to frailty, but as an open door to grow stronger, wiser, and more connected with each passing day. So, which of these 5 deadly mistakes resonates most with you? And what's one action you can take right now to change your trajectory? If you found this story eye-opening, please give a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss future insights. Every share could literally save a life, and your future self will thank you for the steps you take today. Now, go ahead and leave a comment below with the number of the mistake you're tackling and your first move toward reclaiming your health. See you in the next video.